Right now, the Republican presidential debate in Milwaukee is wrapping up. We have team coverage from the Cream City tonight as 8 presidential hopefuls make their pitch to voters.
And tonight's debate, months in the planning. We hear from some voters who traveled to Milwaukee to see the event up close and personal. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. And moments ago, that first debate of the 2024 presidential election cycle wrapped up. 8 candidates taking the stage inside Fiserv Forum, making their pitch to voters about why they and their vision belong in the White House. News 3 Now has team coverage. Following tonight's debate, Armand Rahman is breaking down what we heard. There was, of course, one notable candidate missing from Milwaukee tonight, Brady Mallory, following what former President Donald Trump was up to tonight.
We have 2 crews live in Milwaukee. Will Keneally is inside Fiserv Forum, and Catherine Merck caught up with the voters who traveled to Milwaukee for the spectacle. But first, it was a scorcher around southern Wisconsin, and tomorrow will be more of the same. Jacob Montesano is here with the first warn forecast. Jacob?
Yeah, Charlotte, even at this hour, it is very, very humid and muggy outside. Still 88 degrees in Madison. But looking at those dew points, 79 in Madison, and a lot of our area seeing dew points in the 70s. And with the dew points that high, even at this hour, the sun has been set for over 2 hours now. We're still seeing heat index values above 100 degrees. It has been a very, very hot and humid day. This was the most uncomfortably hot day in over a decade. Last time we saw temperatures or heat index values this bad was back in 2012. Now, here are some of the peak heat index values from earlier. Janesville had a heat index of 123 earlier in the day. Madison's peak was at 113. It was brutal today. It will be bad tomorrow, but good thing is it won't be this bad. Here are the high temperatures from today, the actual temperatures. 96 was the high in Madison. North and west of Madison, we did have temperatures reach the triple digits. And looking at some of the record highs across the region, Madison and much of our area didn't see a record high, but Milwaukee got to 101, and that was a record high for today. I'll talk more in detail about the temperatures tomorrow coming up later in the show.
All eyes on Milwaukee tonight as 8 Republican presidential candidates took the stage at Fiserv Forum, fielding questions from Fox News moderators Brett Baer and Martha McCallum.
Armand Rahman was watching along here from News 3 Now studios. And Armand, what happened tonight?
Well, guys, some of the biggest clashes that have happened in a debate on the Fox News channel have been Pence versus businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, and really Ramaswamy versus everyone else on stage, which he claimed were, quote, super PAC puppets. Here's one exchange where he and Mike Pence disagreed with federal regulations and their handling of the economy if they were president.
That I will declare as U.S. president will be the war on the federal administrative state.
I mean, look, Joe Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad. Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie. We don't need to bring in people without experience. We need to bring
Another big clash was between Ramaswamy and New York Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Their views on former President Trump's behavior.
The conduct is beneath the office of President of the United States.
President Trump, I believe, was the best president of the 21st century.
In your book, you had much different things to say about Donald Trump than you're saying here tonight.
That's not true.
Well, it is very true.
That is not true.
It's very true. I read it, and I know.
Difference between bad behavior and illegal behavior, Chris. And you, as a prosecutor, should know better.
Yeah, you know what?
The candidates did seem to find common ground on their view that President Biden has mishandled the economy, but they once again differed in how America should continue contributing to the war in Ukraine. Eric and Charlotte.
Armand, thank you. Now, with the debate now over, tonight's participants are off the stage, but the questions don't stop. Some of them are in the spin room speaking with journalists.
Well, that's where our political reporter Will Keneally is right now, and he joins us live from Milwaukee. Will?
Well, hey guys, as you can see, we're just now jostling for a little bit of position here in the spin room. We're expecting campaign officials from the various campaigns that we just saw up on the stage to make their way out here and kind of react to what we just saw. Expecting to hear more from some of those clashes that we heard before that Armand mentioned, both Ramaswamy and Pence, Ramaswamy and Christie. Also point out, too, a little bit of a Wisconsin connection. Behind us here is a Fox News set featuring native Wisconsinite Ryan Priebus, who also ran the RNC a few years ago, and also was the White House Chief of Staff under the Trump administration. So just in the next few minutes, this year. We'll expect to hear more from the candidates. But yeah, for now, send it back to you guys. Reporting from Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, Will, thank you. And most notably absent, of course, from tonight's debate, former President Donald Trump. Rather than take the debate stage with other candidates, the president approached Tucker Carlson, formerly of Fox News, for a one-on-one sit-down interview. And that interview was posted to X, formerly Twitter, a little more than 2 hours ago as the Republican debate was getting underway.
Brady Mallory saw that discussion with the former president, and he joins us from the News Center sharing what Trump had to say. Brady?
Most GOP primary polls have Trump as the Republican frontrunner with a sizable lead as he seeks a third straight Republican nomination. He's had a history of clashes with Fox News, and combined with the network's firing of Carlson earlier this year, he decided to skip tonight's debate altogether and instead tape a conversation with the former Fox News host. Here's what he had to say about that decision.
You see the polls have come out, and I'm leading by 50 and 60 points. And, you know, some of them are at 1 and 0 and 2. And I'm saying, do I sit there for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it's going to be, and get harassed by people that shouldn't even be running for president? Should I be doing that?
Trump remains defiant that he won the 2020 presidential election, falsely claiming in that interview that he won Wisconsin that year. There is widespread evidence that there was no widespread voter fraud that year.
If you looked at what went on in Wisconsin, who, by the way, now agree with me, Wisconsin has been virtually, other than the fact they're not allowed to do anything statutorily, but Wisconsin has been, I mean, what they found is incredible. I mean, we won Wisconsin.
Again, this is not true. A Wisconsin judge last summer found absolutely no evidence of election fraud from a Republican-ordered, taxpayer-funded investigation into the 2020 election. The release of the interview comes ahead of Trump's expected surrender tomorrow in Georgia. He and 18 other co-defendants have been charged with racketeering for allegedly interfering with the 2020 presidential election. He has a $200,000 bond agreement with the DA's office, but will be booked and have his mugshot taken.
All right, Brady, thank you. Tonight's debate brought a surge of out-of-town guests to Milwaukee, even if they couldn't be inside during the debate. Just being there outside Fiserv Forum was enough excitement for many who made that trip.
Catherine Merck spent her day speaking with many of them, and she joins us live outside of Fiserv Forum. Catherine.
It's the end of the night here at Fiserv Forum. We've seen many campaign buses leave from their park spots where they've been all day, and people are now starting to trickle out into the Deer District. Like we've been saying, today the entire country had its eye on Wisconsin for the first presidential debate. For the people that I spoke with, they had many reasons for their move to Milwaukee. Both near
Sauk Prairie
and far,
Palm Beach, Florida.
People from all over the country made the trip to our state to kick off the presidential election cycle.
It's such a good swing state that you can really get voices heard a lot more.
Voters came out for all sorts of reasons, many showing support for their favorite candidates.
I came just because of Ron DeSantis. I think he would be the most extraordinary president.
Some had their personal reasons for showing up.
I'm majoring in political science, and like my dream job would be like a senator, like Ron Johnson, stuff like that. And this just seems super cool that it's like close to home.
Not all of those reasons were necessarily political.
As for the facility inside, I heard it's new, I heard it's nice. So kind of anxious to see that as well.
I'm not going to debate, I'm here to hang out with people.
Other voters made their voices heard for the names not here.
Well, we got to show Milwaukee, we got to show Wisconsin, we got to show the Republican Party that we love Donald Trump, especially the youth.
As the focus now shifts to the other parts of the country in the upcoming election year, it won't be long until this same crowd makes the trip to Milwaukee once again.
The national convention is happening here next summer, right?
I'm just here for the ride.
The convention that those voters were talking about will happen July 15th through 18th next year. Reporting live from Milwaukee, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. Republicans weren't the only ones in Milwaukee today. Supporters of President Biden's bid for re-election held a news conference just hours ahead of the first Republican presidential debate.
Both Republicans and Democrats are fighting for votes in Wisconsin as it proves to be more and more consequential for victory in presidential races. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, who's on Biden's re-election advisory board, made an appearance and spoke on what she views as the extreme views of Republicans.
This group supports ending Social Security and Medicare as we know it, cutting taxes for their rich friends, undermining our election, something that we know a little bit about in Wisconsin, and taking our freedoms.
The speakers also repeatedly brought up the anti-abortion rights stances of each GOP candidate, as the issue proves to be a controversial hot topic among voters, especially the all-important female demographic. In other news, turning to a story we've been following out of Reedsburg, a criminal complaint alleges an 18-year-old man was texting and driving before a deadly crash which killed a 13-year-old Reedsburg girl in May. Today, Kevin Green was charged with homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle. Investigators say 13-year-old Evelyn Gurney was waiting for the school bus on Highway 2333 east of Reedsburg when she was struck by Green's pickup truck. Green told deputies at the scene he was looking out the window before noticing a stopped school bus 200 feet ahead of him. He slammed on his brakes, swerving into the ditch, hitting Gurney and killing her. Green denied being on his phone, but a review of his texting records found he had both sent and received a message within 1 minute of the crash and had an outgoing message ready to send. A signature bond has been set at $25,000. Our Republican presidential debate coverage continues next at 10.
We have two political experts joining us to break down who performed well tonight and if former President Donald Trump's decision to skip the event was a good one. Stay with us. It's still ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
The sun is setting on Toyota's national sales event. Wait, they have until September 5th.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjord's furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Visit the Century House today and view our extensive lineup. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjord's furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
Create the ultimate backyard getaway with 11% off everything at Menards. We have the best selection of decking, blocks, grills, and outdoor furniture to transform your yard from ordinary to extraordinary. Add the perfect finishing touch to your patio with your choice of flowers. Just $4.99 after rebate. Then cozy up in those cool summer nights. The 26-inch Madison Square Fire Pit is just $79.99. And 6 light LED flicker flame string lights are $4.98 each after 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. See how available features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist make backing up as easy as turning a knob. Watch as Pro Power on board lights up the night. And Ford Blue Cruise makes driving even more fun. Now get a Ford F-150 XLT or Ford Lightning with 3.9% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 retail trade assist cash and $500 low APR cash.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
The sun is setting on Toyota's national sales event. Wait, they have until September 5th.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota, let's go places.
This is a star. Chrissy Metz has a hidden talent. I did learn how to do a dolphin noise. Are you ready? You think you could call dolphin? They'd be like, who is that? Then Euphoria's Mika King.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Another live look tonight at Fiserv Forum. That was the site of tonight's Republican presidential debate. That debate represented a big opportunity for candidates hoping to make an impression on voters.
And we're joined now by our panelists, Republican strategist Brandon Scholes and UW-Madison journalism professor Mike Wagner. Guys, thanks for being here. You've been here all day with us. We really appreciate your patience. Always great to have you here. We'll talk more about the decision for Donald Trump not to attend. But first, as we look at those who were there, did any have a particularly strong showing? Mike, let's start with you.
I think there were strong showings from kind of three wings of the party. You have the kind of centrist deal makers, and I think Nikki Haley did quite well as far as that group went. I think former Vice President Pence was stronger than he typically is in debates, representing more of the cultural conservative wing of the party. And then you have this newcomer, Vivek Ramaswamy, who had a strong first hour and then faced attacks from Pence, from Christie, from others. And so I think, you know, he also doesn't really have a lane because he's very supportive of Trump, who is still running for president. And so those people are probably the ones that we'll be talking about the most in the coming days. But we'll also talk about, I think, how Ron DeSantis stopped the bleeding of the media narrative of what's happened to him. He held his own tonight.
Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same path. I think the three that performed above expectations was DeSantis. Started off really well, and held his own while everybody kind of nipped around everybody's heels and kind of got kind of snotty. I thought Nikki Haley did a really great job. She was probably the best Republican, made the best case for Republicans on how to figure out where to get to on abortion, and that's going to be a problem. And I thought Tim Scott probably surprised people because most people didn't know him. He came across very reasonable, very thoughtful. And I think those three kind of set the pace for where the rest of the Republican primary has to go. Politely said, I mean, Chris Christie is there to have a fist fight that work. Rasha Shami was there for, you know, to audition for vice president, and, you know, the rest of it is the rest of it. So, but for Republicans, it's not a bad start. They didn't have a fist fight. I know you want to talk about Donald Trump being there or not being there, but this was their time and this was their debate, and I don't think it was an undercard like Priebus and some of the others were trying to peddle.
All right, so let's talk about Donald Trump now. So he is the leading candidate in the Republican field, decided to skip this debate altogether, instead sitting down with a taped interview with Tucker Carlson. And now that the debate is over, what do you make of that decision? Was it a good one? I'll start with you, Brandon.
Well, I think Trump didn't need to be here just because, as others have said, he's so well known. He doesn't have to introduce himself to voters. You can get away with that once, maybe twice. But the numbers that they're talking about, this big gap in the Republican primary, it's going to tighten, and it's going to tighten well. And so Trump got his get out of jail card, no pun intended, free tonight. But that's going to change as this campaign moves on. You got three solid candidates. You got some more that are going to be there. They're all going to talk, and no matter what happens in Trump's legal problems, this campaign goes on and on. So Trump's got several things to deal with. Maybe tonight it was okay to not be there. I don't think they can pull that card again.
I think that's right. I think he probably gets a free pass on that today, but he's opening himself up to the narrative of he can't handle multiple problems at once, which is something the presidents have to do. He's opening himself up to the narrative that he's no longer in it for the fight, isn't willing to hear those kinds of things. But it's probably better for the candidates on the stage tonight to not have someone who generally takes all the oxygen and instead let them introduce themselves to voters.
So when we wake up tomorrow, in the olden days, we'd wake up and read the newspaper the next day. What's everybody talking about? What's the big headline that you take from today, Mike?
It's a long way until November, and there will be lots of changes. Most primaries are really volatile, and here we have one where a formerly vanquished president is running again for president, and so that, as Brandon was saying, it's going to tighten, it's going to get strange. There are lots of things that are going to happen over the next 14 months.
Brandon?
14 months is the big word, okay? and you can't say it often enough because everybody wants this solved tomorrow. You all want to run out to vote tomorrow about the debate tonight. It just doesn't work that way. This is going to take time. They've got positions to lay out. If you really look at how much time was spent on issues in the debate, there really wasn't all that much. And so, you've got that. Donald Trump has got to go out and talk about what he wants to do. This can't be a campaign on his part about, it was stolen from me last time. So you have all these dynamics that have to change on the Trump mantra. You have all these candidates that are coming on board. And I think, as we've also talked about, they really didn't lay a glove on on Joe Biden until the very end when they poked at him for a few things. So there's a lot more to come.
Always interesting. Guys, I really appreciate you being here all day with us.
Great fun.
It was a lot of hours, and we really appreciate it.
We'll see you a lot more in the next 14 months.
Yeah, 14 months, Brandon. Long way to go. All right, expect one more day of these dangerously warm temperatures before we start to cool down. Jacob has our first warm forecast.
Thanks, Eric. And we do have an alert day for tomorrow. Once again, we could possibly see heat index values back into the 1-teens, although it does look like tomorrow won't be quite as hot as today, but I am hesitant to say that because it's still going to be very hot. And once again, this will be for all of southern Wisconsin. So there's an excessive heat warning once again for most of our area. Heat advisory, though, for Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake County, both of which are until 7 p.m. tomorrow. Down south, though, in northern Illinois, the excessive heat warning will remain until 8 p.m. But we're once again going to see very hot temperatures and dangerously hot temperatures at times. So the high temperatures will be in the 90s, possibly over 100 for some areas. Heat index values between 100 and 110. Like I said, we likely aren't going to see quite as hot conditions tomorrow, so the heat index values may top off at 110, but exceeding that is definitely possible. But the best news is that by the weekend, it's going to be completely different. In fact, we actually may see below average temperatures by the weekend. I'll get to that later, but first, take a look at some of these overnight lows. We could see low temperatures staying in the 80s for some locations. So the heat index values will remain well into the 80s, if not lower 90s at best during the overnight hours. So it's going to be a very, very soupy night, and tomorrow is going to be very hot once again. We've been talking about it, a lot of sunshine. It does appear, though, that the western part of the state will actually be cooler than today, where that was the warmest temperatures, where we saw a lot of areas get over 100. Madison and places to the south as well as to the east looks like they may be pretty similar to what we saw today. Now here's a look at the future track heat index forecast. I mean, we'll see heat index values once again above 100. 105 to 110 will probably be the max. I don't expect to see heat index quite as bad as they were today. It will get better on Friday, still a little hot in some locations, and then the heat index on Saturday, it won't even be a topic of conversation because it's going to be a lot cooler by then. So here are some more heat safety tips. Stay hydrated, take frequent breaks. You know, we've been saying this all week. The top bullet point really is the most important. And even if you're in the shade or if you're planning on swimming, take breaks and drink lots of water. So here's a look at the temperature trend for the next 10 days after Thursday. Take a look at that. It is going to be a lot better. 70s for the weekend, and the 70s will continue into the middle portion of next week. So conditions are going to be vastly improved as we head into the weekend. And as far as the forecast goes, we do have a chance of rain late Friday as well as late Monday, although those chances of rain do appear to be relatively small. We aren't really expecting to see a widespread rain event for the foreseeable future, and we really haven't the last couple of days either, or the last week or so. So we may continue to see the drought get worse, so that's the bad news. But the good news is that the temperatures next week are going to be a lot better. Even though they'll rise into the mid-80s, we're not going to get anywhere close to what we were today or what we will be tomorrow.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We're back after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
We need to talk about Sonobello.
We are getting rid of all of this
today.
Ladies, this summer you can cover up or feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello One Visit Permanent Fat Removal.
Look at this shape. My tummy is gone and my hourglass shape is back.
Wherever there's excess fat, we can remove it. That's what we do all day, every day.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I could actually wear a two-piece after 25 years.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Now, with our Best Bodies summer event, you can schedule your free, no-obligation consultation, plus save $250 off instantly. That's $250 off your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more. Call 1-888-634-9939 or go to sonobello.com.
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines with unlimited data for just $90 total.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. On top of that, you also get 4 free phones.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked, and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. Do you check the expiration dates?
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
4 lines for $90 a month, plus 4 free phones. US Cellular, built for us.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Right now, the Brewers are about as hot as the temperature outside. The crew is currently on a 4-game win streak, and it's not like those wins are against the A's and the Rockies. They swept the AL West leading Rangers and are looking for another sweep over the AL Central leading Twins. Tied at 7 in the bottom of the 10th, Bryce Terang chops one to third and beats the throw to first to bring home Willy Adames and walk it off for the crew. And on a day like today, you just welcome the ice bath. Brewers get the win, 8-7. New coach, new era. That's how Jace Rindle opened up Whitewater football's media day this afternoon. But the first-year head coach made it clear the tradition isn't going anywhere. They're still pounding the rock. And unlike years past, that winning tradition has a gauntlet of a schedule. Whitewater's first 6 games are all against teams ranked in the top 25. But that first-year head coach isn't too worried about the number before his opponent's name.
No fan or critic could put a higher expectation on Jace Rindle than me. So to shy away or think that because a team's got a record or a ranking, I don't even know what the rankings are. I don't even know what we're ranked, and that's just how I think about things. But let's go.
Doesn't matter who you put in front of us, we'll take them down. So it doesn't matter who we're playing. Each week, each game is just as important as the others.
Down in Platteville, the Pioneers have themselves a freak on defense. Now, those are the Athletics words, not mine. Justin Blazek was the only Division III player on this year's college football freaks list, and for good reason. At 6'5", 240 pounds, with a wingspan of 6'10", Blazek runs like a receiver, but plays defensive end. It's an honor he didn't know existed, but it's a list that's pretty cool to be on.
Didn't know that that was really a thing that existed, so I wasn't expecting it at all, but I still got more work to do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an article. It was really cool, though.
Yes, that's accurate. He's a freak. Speed of a wide receiver. He's got the power of a defensive end, and he's got freakish arms to get people off of him, right? And so you put those 3 together, and that's a prototypical defensive end that can play anywhere. I mean, he's not a Division III player.
We're back after this.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. See how available features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist make backing up as easy as turning a knob. Watch as Pro Power on board lights up the night. And Ford Blue Cruise makes driving even more fun. Now get a Ford F-150 XLT or Ford Lightning with 3.9% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 retail trade assist cash and $500 low APR cash.
Looking for a smarter way to mop? Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop.
An all-in-one cleaning tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. Our new cleaning pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips that absorb and lock dirt away. And it has a 360-degree swivel head that goes places a regular mop just can't. So you can clean your home faster than ever. Don't mop harder, mop smarter with the new Swiffer Power Mop.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying... He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. You've got this. Whatever it is, you're ready for it. Your newly purchased defenses, top of the line. Your backup, backing up. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So if your new house still has some old tenants, we'll make sure your checking account won't be giving you any surprises. You've got this with Associated Bank.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or current Chevy owners get $7,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes! Everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
The Final Drive high school football coverage, Fridays at 10.
And we go back to Jacob. Final check. The forecast. Everybody's looking forward to cooling off.
Yeah, what a day. The heat came just in time for the debate, and it's going to leave just after. Well, not just after. We do have another hot day tomorrow with highs in the upper 90s. Heat index values will once again likely be well over 100 at times, but it's going to get a lot better. Friday will be definitely better, but still warm, and then the weekend, just about perfect. Partly sunny skies, highs in the mid-70s. We're going to continue to see 70s through the middle of next week before 80s return, but nothing like today or tomorrow.
All right, Jacob, thank you, and thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.